Hello and welcome. So, today we're pulling back the curtain on this invisible force that shapes, well, every single choice you make. I'm talking about everything, from the massive, life-altering decisions down to the tiny little things you do without even thinking. This is the hidden engine that drives you, and in this explainer, we are going to find its ignition switch. Okay, let's just dive right in with a question for you. Why did you click on this? Seriously. What made you press play? Was it just curiosity, a desire to learn something new? Or maybe you're trying to figure out how to get yourself to the gym or, finish that huge project. Whatever the reason, something sparked you into action. And that spark, well, it has a name. That spark is Al-Hafiz, or in English, simply motivation. It's the secret ingredient, right? The internal power that ignites and then steers our behavior toward a goal. It's not just some fuzzy feeling. It's the actual mechanism that turns a thought into an action. And understanding it, that's like getting the user manual for your own mind. Now, before we get into the stories that really bring this force to life, if you're someone who loves to understand the why behind everything, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't want to miss the deep dives we've got coming up. First up, let's look at a story of motivation born from pure, raw passion. This is the story of Damon John, the guy who built the global fashion empire FUBU right from his mother's living room in Queens, New York. So, what was Damon's Hafiz? What was his driver? It wasn't money, not at first anyway. His core drive was this intense internal passion. He saw the hip-hop community he loved, this culture that was just exploding with creativity, and he had one dream: to design clothes for them, by them. That right there, that was his fuel. And this just perfectly illustrates how motivation directs your every decision. I mean, look at this path. During the day, he's working a full-time job at Red Lobster just to pay the bills. But every single night, fueled by that dream, he'd go home and sew hats. He literally transformed his mother's house into a makeshift factory, a command center for his vision. He didn't have a storefront. His decisions led him to sell his creations from the trunk of his van on the streets of New York. Every single one of these grueling steps was a choice powered by that internal fire. That right there, this is the power of motivation. It makes you choose the hard path, the long nights, the sacrifice, all because the goal feels so much more important than the comfort of right now. Okay, now let's look at this from a totally different angle. Because motivation isn't always about some creative dream. Sometimes it's about a practical, burning ambition for a better life. So let's get into the story of Mohammed, a student who became a blacksmith to literally forge his own future. So Mohammed's core drive was different. His Hafiz was all about the ambition for financial independence. As a student, he just wanted to improve his situation, to stand on his own 2 feet, to be his own boss. His motivation was this desire to change his external world, to build something real and tangible for himself. And just look at the timeline of his decisions. An opportunity comes up to be a blacksmith's assistant, and his motivation for independence makes him say yes. He doesn't just clock in and out, he decides to master the craft. Why? Because his goal was to launch his own business. And once he did, every choice he made, from setting his prices to the quality of his service, was guided by that one thing: the drive to succeed, to compete, and to build his own name. And once again, we see that exact same force at work. It's the power of motivation, providing a strategic blueprint for your life, guiding you from one calculated step to the next, all for a clear, tangible reward at the end. So what's so cool here is how you can see 2 totally different drivers, but they're both powering the exact same engine. On one side, you've got Damon. His was an internal motivation, a fire lit by passion, by the sheer joy and personal fulfillment of just creating something that meant the world to him. And then on the other side, you've got Mohammed. His was an ambition-driven or external motivation, this desire for tangible rewards like financial freedom and building a business. Both are just incredibly powerful. If these stories are hitting home and you're starting to think about your own drivers, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join our community of learners. We explore the forces that shape our world and our lives every single week. Okay, so we've seen the stories, we felt the power, but what's actually happening under the hood? How does motivation really function as a mechanism inside our brains to influence all our day-to-day choices? Let's break down the science of it all. So, according to the research, motivation isn't magic. It works through a few key mechanisms. First, it directs our behavior. It gives us a clear target. Damon's dream pointed him towards selling clothes, not anything else. Second, it just ramps up our focus and effort. I mean, think about Damon sewing hats all night long. That's motivation filtering out every other distraction. Third, it improves our performance. Mohammed wasn't just showing up to work, he was deliberately mastering a craft to beat the competition, all because he was motivated by that end goal. It also influences our career decisions. Mohammed chose blacksmithing as a calculated path to independence. And, this is a big one, it supports our psychological well-being. That sense of purpose both men felt, that feeling of building something real, that's a huge reward in itself. And yeah, over time, this steep drive can change our overall habits and even encourage ethical choices as we build lives that actually line up with our goals. Okay, so after all of that, the stories, the science, the mechanics, it really all boils down to one simple but really powerful idea. So the crucial point is this. Motivation is the engine. It's already in there, inside you. But an engine is totally useless without fuel. Your job isn't to create motivation out of thin air. Your job is to discover what your personal fuel is. Is it passion like Damon? Is it ambition like Mohammed? Maybe it's helping others or learning new things. Finding that fuel, that is the single most important step you can take. We really hope this explainer helps you start that whole process of discovery. And for more content that makes you think and maybe understand the world a little better, make sure you're subscribed. And so we end right where we began. But this time, the question isn't about why you pressed play. It's much, much bigger than that. What is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? What's the goal that makes all the hard work feel worth it? In other words, what is your motivation? Really think about it. Thanks for tuning in.